Lakers pick up a huge win over the Los Angeles Clippers, crosstown rivals. Sloppy performance there early a little bit, but the Lakers really got it going. The Clippers' lack of defense was astounding. Kind of feel like something the Lakers used to play. And not that the Lakers played great defense. They certainly need to tighten that up, especially as the competition gets better if they want to go far in the playoffs. But another win, improving to 13-4 on the season. So exciting seeing this team playing good basketball right now. Now the Lakers take on the Mavs. And this is a game that people always are going to have circled because you're always going to have the tie with Luka back to Dallas. And for as long as AD is playing, the tie of AD to a lesser extent back to the Lakers. Also in this video, we're going to get to the upcoming schedule. These two teams going in very different directions. And I also want to wish hopefully everyone had a happy Thanksgiving. But back to the Mavs. The Mavs, this matchup, when they booked this on the schedule before the season, they thought this was going to be, the Mavs were kind of the sexy pick to kind of be a team from maybe the bottom that was kind of going to rise up. And, they got hit with so many injuries last year after the Luka deal. AD got hurt. Kyrie got hurt. They never really got to see this team blend. And despite the fact that Kyrie Irving was going to miss the first while of the season, we'll see when he's coming back, if he's coming back. Sounds like maybe here in a couple months. They were kind of the sexy pick. They were kind of the team that everyone's like, man, they have a pretty deep roster. If you look at it, a mix of young talent and veteran presence, and maybe they could do some damage in the Western Conference. They have not been that so far. So they have been 5-14. AD is a game time decision. He's questionable for this game. The Mavs are 5-14 on this season. AD averaging about 21 points per game in only 5 games played. So AD's had to lead this bunch with Kyrie Irving out. And obviously what stole all the headlines was them getting the number 1 pick, Cooper Flag. Cooper Flag's been up and down. I feel like he's averaging about 16 points a game. He's played a little bit better recently, but Cooper Flag also, to be fair to Cooper Flag, came into a tough situation where, because everyone was picking the Mavs, and the Mavs were a team that, a lot of number 1 picks go to bad teams. They go to teams that they're not expecting very much of. They're not expecting much in terms of the playoff picture. You just want to see development through the entire year, and then you're able to kind of build that together. Like look at Wemby. Wemby was just a kind of a sight to see. It was like watch Wemby play basketball, but no one thought the Spurs were serious contenders the first couple seasons. So that kind of led into him allowing to develop. Cooper Flag was different. He's coming to a team with 2 veteran presence in Anthony Davis and Kyrie Irving. And then because Kyrie's out, and then now Anthony Davis has missed a lot of time, he's had to be the number 1 option. And every time there's a number 1 pick, everyone wants to kind of stick it to him, prove to the point. Like, they are a rookie in this league and they have to adjust. This is a guy who only played 1 year at Duke. And although he was fantastic at Duke, he's still very young and wasn't a 4-year senior that was so ready for the NBA, and his body kind of grew into it. So Cooper Flag's been doing a little bit better. They started off the season actually with him as a point guard, which was a disaster. I don't know what the Mavs thought they were doing with that one. He wasn't a point guard at Duke. He played a little bit of the point forward, but Con Knipple and Malawach ran center, and they had guys that kind of brought the ball up, and Knipple and some other guys, and they let Flag get it on the wing and kind of go to work. So him playing as a point guard was a disaster. I don't know what they were doing with that. They quickly went away from it. Cooper Flag's been averaging about 16. PJ Washington, who's been a perennially really good player against the Lakers, actually had some big games. He's averaging about 16 points a game as well, leading the team with 8 rebounds per game. Not usually the best sign when your wing player, your number 3 option, is leading the team in rebounds. It's great that for you that they're rebounding, but usually you want that to be a center. Now, a lot of that can be tied to Anthony Davis injuries, but Daniel Gafford has been playing. He has been the center while AD is out, averaging about 10 points a game. Max Christie, old friend Max Christie, averaging about 13 points per game. He's kind of had a nice rotational role and popped in the starting lineup here with Anthony Davis out, and looks like he won't be giving it back. Christie's a guy that obviously you had to do the deal for Luka. That's not negotiable, but Christie's a guy that I was always a fan of and liked watching, and feel like he was kind of coming into his own right before he got traded. Understandably why the Mavs wanted him in the deal, but he's having some success out there. Him and Flag kind of grow together, as well as PJ Washington. Brandon Williams is a young player. He's averaging about 11 points per game. They're giving a lot of the young guys run. I get to that because on the bench, you have D'Angelo Russell, who, another old friend, 12 points per game. He's actually leading the team about 5 assists per game, which is pretty crazy given his lack of minutes. Klay Thompson is only averaging about 10 points a game. Really kind of struggled this year. He's expected to be kind of one of the buyout guys, probably on the move with the deadline. Klay is not the same player he once was. Now, he could be of use to someone because anytime you do have a guy who can sit in the corner and hit threes with a more well-rounded roster could be a pretty valuable piece. But something we're going to get to in a minute is how these teams are going in very different directions, and Klay Thompson really plays into that. And then you got Ryan Nembhard kind of filling out the bench. He's a rookie. His brother Andrew Nembhard is in the league as well. He's been getting a little bit of run at 3 points per game, and then Najee Marshall clocking in with about 12 points a game. The Lakers beat him in almost every statistical category. They average about nine more points per game than them. The Mavs defense is still actually third in the league, where their offense is the worst offensive rating in the league. So they do play some defense, especially with Anthony Davis there. But the problem is scoring the basketball. The Lakers out-rebound them by about a seven rebound margin. Listen, the Lakers, there's a lot of side storylines in this game, but if you just look at the talent on the floor, the Lakers should have no problem with this one. But you do have a lot of personal vendettas. Obviously, Luka still wanting to get revenge. That's never going to go away for him. But Anthony Davis might be playing this one. He actually made a comment. They asked him when he would be back, and he said, "You know what game I want to play in?" Insinuating the Lakers. Anthony Davis going to want to show something. Max Christie's going to want to show something. D'Lo's going to want to show something. So I expect this game, actually, despite the Lakers being 10.5-point favorites, I think that's probably too big of a spread, considering there's going to be some extra motivation for the Mavs in this game. But the Lakers got a lot of that as well, with Luka, always playing his old team. But to my point I want to get to, teams going in very different directions. It's funny how these two teams kind of swap places, in a sense, in my estimation. The Lakers were going to be that team led by LeBron and Anthony Davis, and it just felt like they were running back the same thing every year. And yeah, they're amazing players, but they're aging. Felt like they were kind of aging out of it. They were going with a lot of veterans, D'Angelo Russell, trying to get Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson actually chose the Dallas Mavericks, but trying to just get a bunch of veteran pieces to go win a ring. And then you kind of flip it. And so the Lakers obviously acquire Luka, one of the craziest trade in probably any sports league there's ever been. They ranked it number 1 on Bleacher Report on a thing recently, a list recently. And then now you have the Mavs, who I don't want to say they're quite what the Lakers were, because they do have Cooper Flag. They have a young potential superstar, but you're relying on Kyrie Irving, veteran guy who's also been injury prone. Anthony Davis, they're already seeing. We love AD. Helped win the Lakers a title. Very injury prone, getting up there in age, and especially with him, because of the amount of injuries he's had, you expect his career to be cut short probably a little bit. Don't know how long he'll be playing into his 30s. PJ Washington, nice young player, but also a little bit of a veteran presence. It's flipped. The Mavs used to have Luka, and they had Jalen Brunson for a minute, and then Kyrie kind of was younger at the time and worked into that. And they had Daniel Gafford and Derek Lively and all these guys. And Derek Lively's injured right now, so he won't be there. But it just feels like they flipped it. And now the Lakers are the young team, minus LeBron, but you have a young superstar in Luka Doncic, a young superstar in Austin Reeves. LeBron's going to be able to contribute. Hell, DeAndre Ayton's been playing great basketball. He's only 26 years old. Like, Jake LaRavia's not a superstar, but the Lakers kind of went with a youth movement, and it feels like the Mavs took the Lakers' place as we're going to try to win a ring, knowing that we probably have a limited window with Kyrie Irving and Anthony Davis. But if they're all on the floor in a playoff series, if this team's perfectly healthy with Derek Lively and Anthony Davis and Kyrie Irving, they're going to be dangerous. And as Cooper Flag gets better throughout his career, he's probably going to develop into a superstar. So we'll see. But it's just the Luka deal. It's amazing looking back on it about how seismic that was, and that the Lakers were heading towards Anthony Davis running the team by himself. And I don't know about you guys, but that's not a championship winning team. It's just he's not consistent enough on the floor in terms of being able to be out there. And I don't know how many stars, considering his injury history, despite his excellent play, would want to come partner up with Anthony Davis. Whereas Luka Doncic, when LeBron's out, I'm sure there's going to be a plethora of stars who want to come play with Luka Doncic and have a chance to win a ring in Los Angeles. So I think that's kind of a storyline going into this game. The Lakers already wrapped up the NBA Cup, so there's a little less drama on this one. And the Mavs haven't been very good, but anytime these two franchises get together, for as long as Luka Doncic is playing basketball, there's going to be some storylines. heading into it. Looking at the upcoming schedule, I get to this because the Lakers, currently sitting at 13-4, and like look at the upcoming schedule. You get the Mavs, 10.5-point favorites there. The Pelicans not a very good basketball team, should be massive favorites there. The Suns have been playing actually pretty good basketball this year. Kind of surprising how fast they're kind of on the fly rebuild with Devin Booker still there, but Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks kind of adding a lot of complementary pieces, not having Kevin Durant. Suns have actually been playing decent basketball this year, so I'll expect that game to be good. But then they go on the road trip, and it's going to be fun because you get to see how the Lakers stack against some of the top Eastern Conference foes. So you got Toronto, who's been playing excellent basketball. Brandon Ingram, Scotty Barnes. Got to give some love to old Brandon Ingram. He was always fun when he was a Laker. They really kind of a couple guys that were cast aside going to that Raptors team has really been a resurgent in the Eastern Conference, and kind of quiet. I guess the Raptors just don't get talked about as much stateside, but they've been a damn good team. Then Boston. Listen, Boston is not the same team that they were before because Jason Tatum's hurt and they traded Holiday and Porzingis and stuff. But Jaylen Brown has been unbelievable. And again, anytime you get Lakers Clippers, Lakers Celtics, it's always going to be a great game. And then you got Philly, who has been one of the really elite teams in the Eastern Conference. Started out super hot, tailed off a little bit, just a tad. But Tyrese Maxey is playing at an unbelievable level. VJ Edgecombe, the rookie out of Baylor, number 3 overall pick, has looked like the best rookie in this class so far. He has been fantastic, possibly the steal of it. And we get the status on Embiid and all that. But I kind of look at the upcoming schedule to show the Lakers have a real opportunity here before they go on this road trip. Like, it is not hard to expect the Lakers certainly go 2-1 and go 3-0 in these next 3 games. Now, you never know. Maybe a team catches you on any given night. But it just goes back to the old Laker teams. This time of year, they would drop that second game of the Jazz in Utah. The Clipper game that the Clippers had a lot of motivation, they would lose that. And then they'd be in this middling record, and they're constantly fighting. And they might get some big wins on the road trips, but they lose to some bad teams. It's just nice to see that the Lakers are building a cushion. And again, it's super early in the season. We don't know what's going to happen. You got to keep stacking these wins. But it's nice that the Lakers are building a little bit of a cushion. So when you have LeBron, who is 40 years old, you don't want him playing massive minutes every night. You can give him a night off. Or down the stretch, if the Lakers are in comfortable playoff seating, you can give him a couple nights off and kind of heal for the postseason. Whereas in years past, it felt like early on. I mean, even in the 18th game of the season a couple years ago, it felt like the Lakers were needing to grind out wins because you couldn't fall too far behind in the standings. So it's nice to see, and the Lakers take advantage of a little bit of a break in their schedule so far in the last week or two. So very excited for that. Very excited for this game tonight. Again, I appreciate everyone for tuning in. I hope everyone had a happy Thanksgiving. And got the holidays coming up here. So thank you for tuning in. Alan's going to get you guys on the post-game show, and then I'll be back with a video for the next game against the New Orleans Pelicans. So I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Have a good one, and go Lakers.